Good day, everyone. Today, we will talk about mother tongue-based multilingual education framework, its implementation in the basic education curriculum. Prior knowledge and insights gained each day about life at home and at the world at large are tightly incorporated in their first language or mother tongue. They can develop mother tongue through speaking, listening, reading, writing, or the macro skills. Mother tongue-based multilingual education or MTB-MLE education framework. Since the Lingua Franca Education Project in 1999, MTB-MLE program is the most vital reform for the country's basic education and the school system as a whole. The first language is the language of learning. It is by far the easiest way for children to interact with the world. And when the language of learning and the language of instruction do not match, learning difficulties are bound to follow. MTB-MLE is a theoretical-based, well-planned educational program that provides a strong foundation for literacy using the learners developing cognitive skills and comprehension of academic content from day one. This is the curriculum framework of MTB-MLE. Curriculum framework. A curriculum framework is an organized plan or set of standards or learning outcomes that defines the content to be learned in terms of clear, definable standards of what the students should know and be able to do. It is part of outcome-based education or standards-based education reform design. Through this framework, students will achieve the necessary competencies in each subject area, and at the end of the program, they will be prepared to enter and achieve well in the mainstream education system. The strong foundation in the mother tongue strengthens cognitive development, academic, and second language development, all leading to competent and confident use of the three languages in a variety of situations and purposes. Lifelong learning is a great achievement for MTB-MLE program. With the end goal of making Filipino children lifelong learners in their Language 1 or Mother Tongue, Language 2 Filipino, and Language 3 English, the learners are more than prepared to develop the competencies in the different learning areas. This will serve as their passport to excellent achievement in the mainstream education system and a productive contribution to the community and to the larger society as multilingual, multiliterate, and multicultural citizen. In MTB-MLE program, teachers must use prior knowledge because engaging learners in a discussion of what is already familiar to them using the home language enables better learning of the curriculum through integration and application of that knowledge into current knowledge schemes. The use is also cognitive development and HATS. MTB-MLE cultivates critical thinking through talking about ideas in the familiar language. MTB-MLE provides strong bridge because through listening, speaking, reading, and writing, the Language 2 and Language 3 of the classroom using sound educational principles for building fluency and confidence in using the other languages for lifelong learning. MTB-MLE provides scaffolding. In L2 teaching, the Language 1 is used to support learning with the Language 2. Is not sufficiently developed to be used alone. The Language 1 is used for expression and the teacher facilitates the development of the Language 2 to enable learners to adequately express ideas in the Language 2. Teaching for meaning and accuracy in MTB-MLE. The goal in teaching both Language 1 and Language 2 is to become confident and proficient in listening, speaking, reading, and writing for meaning and accuracy. The two-track method be used, that is the primary track to focus on accuracy and the story track to focus on meaning. Learning via the two-track method to gain proficiency in literacy as well as comprehend academic content and gain curriculum mastery, creative and critical thinking skills for decisive decision-making. Confidence building and proficiency development for the two-track are more languages along these macro skills are essential for both meaning and accuracy. Guiding principles for teaching and learning in MTB-MLE. Principle 1. Known to the unknown. Learning requires meaning. We learn when we use what we already know to help us understand what is new. The most important single factor influencing learning is what the learner already knows. Ascertain this and teach him or her accordingly. We can apply this principle by start with what the learners already know about a topic and use that to introduce the new concept. Second language learners use what they know and their own language to help develop their other languages. We can apply this by developing an awareness of how the language 1 works to support learning the language 2 and language 3. Principle 2. Language and academic development. Students with well-developed skills in their first language have been shown to acquire additional languages more easily and fully, and that in turn has a positive impact on academic achievement. We can apply this by continuing the oral development of language 1 and beginning reading in language 1 to strengthen language 2 and language 3 learning as well as academic achievement across the curriculum. Principle 3. Cognitive development. Students who use their multilingual skills have been shown to develop both cognitive flexibility and divergent thinking. We can apply this by continue developing critical thinking in the language 1 as well as in language 2 and language 3. Higher order thinking skills in the principle 3 are imperative. When we truly learn something, we can explain it, apply it, analyze it, evaluate it, and use it to create new ideas and information. We can apply this by using the Bloom's taxonomy. The knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. But nowadays, we use the revised Bloom's taxonomy by Anderson and Krathwohl's. Remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Where in remembering, we repeat what we hear or read. Understanding, we explain what we hear and read. In applying, we apply. In analyzing, we examine. In evaluating, we assess. And creating, we create new things to gather and invent new ideas. Principle 4. Discovery learning. We learn when someone who already understands the new idea or task help us to discover the new idea and then use it meaningfully. We can apply this by finding out what the students already know about a topic, then provide activities that let them use their knowledge to learn the new concept or task. Principle 5. Active learning. Peer interaction. Children learn best through peer interactions in which they work together creatively to solve problems. We can apply this by doing most class activities in teams or pairs. Encourage students to talk with each other and compare ideas in order to solve problems. Second language active learning. Young children gain confidence in learning a new language when they begin with hear, see, do activities. In applying this, begin the language 2 language learning time by focusing on listening and responding to oral language. Children listen to a command, observe someone respond to the command, and then respond in action. Purposeful talk. Talking helps us make sense of new ideas and information. We can apply this by first ask a lot of higher level questions and give students time to think and then respond. Second, provide plenty of opportunities for students to work in teams, sharing and comparing their ideas. Principle 6. Meaning and accuracy. Successful language learning involves hearing, speaking, reading, and writing activities that focus on both meaning and accuracy. We can apply this by including plenty of activities that focus on both meaning and accuracy. Principle 7. Language learning or language transfer. We learn a new language best when the learning process is non-threatening and meaningful, and when we can take small steps that help us gain confidence in our ability to use the language meaningfully. Research in second language acquisition indicates that it takes a minimum of 2 years to learn basic communication skills in a second language when society supports the learning. Errors are a normal part of a second language learning. We can apply this beginning the language 2 learning time by focusing on hear-see-do activities that enable students to build up their listening vocabulary. Before they expected to talk, introduce reading and writing in language 2 only when they have built up a good hearing and speaking vocabulary. The last principle is about the effective component, valuing the home language culture. Valuing students with talent in their home language more powerfully enables learning than just valuing learners of English whose home language is irrelevant to academic success. We can apply this by learners are encouraged when they know they are valued in the classroom and their language and heritage are seen as resources. The classroom environment are important because when children from ethno-linguistic language groups thrive in a welcoming environment in which teachers are peer value them a positive presence in the classroom and the school, encourage their use of their language one, provide books, visual representations, and concrete objects that reflect their backgrounds and interests. Genesis of the mother tongue-based multilingual education in the Philippines. MTB-MLE curriculum has its beginning in 2009. Secretary Jocelyn A. Lapus signed Department Order No. 74 Series 2009 titled Institutionalizing Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual Education. The DepEd order mandated that mother tongue is the sole language of instruction from preschool to grade 3. It is extended the use of the mother tongue beyond 3 years of elementary school. Filipino and English will be taught as separate subjects in the early age. The goals of MTB-MLE in the K-12 curriculum. January 20, 2021, Republic Act 10175, known as the Act Institutionalizing Kindergarten Education into the Basic Education System. Secretary Brother Arman A. Luestro issued Department Order No. 21 Series 2012 entitled Policies and Guidelines in the Implementation of the Universal Kindergarten Education Program, which it promotes inclusive education in reaching all 5 years old children. During school year 2012-2013, 12 languages are used as a language of learning for kindergarten up to grade 3. As of 2015, 7 other languages were added as medium of instruction, a total of 19 languages, and these are Pangasinense, Iloilo, Kapampangan, Tagalog, Bicol, Sinugbuanong Bisaya, Waray, Hiligaynon, Meranao, Basahasug, Maguindanawon, Chavacano, Ikatan, Ibanag, Sambal, Kinasaya, Akeanon, Siregaunon, at Yakan. The goals of MTB-MLE reflects the perspective of several scholars on adaptive multilingual education. First goal, development lifelong learners who are proficient in the use of their first language to be able to connect to their heritage, Filipino to connect to their country, and English to connect to the world. 2. Develop active inquiries, critical and creative thinkers, problem solvers, and decision makers who are able to use language as means of giving insights into their whole range of human experience, starting from the mother tongue. Third, develop and maintain their love and respect for the heritage, culture, home language, and national language, and be able to contribute to the development of their own community and the country. Fourth, promote the learners' integration into national society without forcing them to sacrifice their linguistic and cultural heritage. Fifth, bring unity to the multicultural and linguistically diverse Filipino society, which help attain equality of all for all citizens of the country. The core curriculum planning. In 2010, the Department of Education, other stakeholders, and partnerships through the country began a process to help transform education via its curriculum. The K-12 was designed, reviewed, revised, and finalized. The K-12 curriculum design is characterized as flexible, standards-based competency, concept-based, and inclusive. The major components of the core curriculum are content and performance standards. Required learning areas from kindergarten to grade 6. The kindergarten curriculum domains are the physical health, well-being, and motor development. Second, creative and aesthetic development. Third, socio-emotional development. Fourth, character and values development. Fifth, cognitive intellectual development. And sixth, language development. The Republic Act 101/75 Kindergarten Education Law, the first stage of compulsory formal education. Beginning at the early age, they must be carried for and each given all opportunities to address current developmental needs and to prepare them for lifelong learning. The Kindergarten to Grade 1 Transition Program. As I mentioned earlier, the domains are the following. As you can see in the screen, there are 6 domains, and it is distributed to the different learning areas. The physical health, well-being, motor development, and creative and aesthetic development is integrated into the physical education and health, music, and arts. In social emotional development, character and values development is integrated to values education and social studies. In cognitive, intellectual development, and language development are integrated to the mathematics, science, and languages. These learning areas are integrated and distributed to the core learning areas in grade 1. As you can see in the screen, the physical education and health, music and arts are in the physical education and health and music and arts subject in grade 1. If in the learning areas of kindergarten are incorporated in one subject, in grade 1 core learning areas, they are distributed to the different subjects. The values education and social studies are in edukasyong pagpapakatao and araling panlipunan. The mathematics are in the mathematics subject. The science and languages are distributed in the English, Filipino, and mother tongue subjects. Learning areas and time allotment. In each learning area or subject, it has a minimum and maximum minutes. The minimum is 30 minutes and the maximum is 15 minutes. As you can see in the screen, each subject has a minimum and maximum. It is up to the teacher on how will use that time for each subject to tackle all the lessons. Medium of instruction. The DepEd order mandated the mother tongue is the sole language of instruction from preschool to grade 3. It is extended the use of mother tongue beyond 3 years of elementary school. Therefore, the subjects that are offered in grades 1 to 3 are all mother tongue. The medium of instruction is mother tongue. The Filipino and English will be taught as separate subjects in the early age. While from grade 4 to 10, the medium of instruction is bilingual, which are the Filipino and English. The 14 domains of literacy in the Philippine MTB-MLE curriculum. First, the oral language. Roscos et al. 2009 present an expanded notion of the oral language with 5 primary areas, namely semantic, syntax, morphology, phonology, and pragmatic. A permanent connection between oral language abilities and literacy skills must be established, because oral language is a foundation of learning to read and write. Next domain is phonological awareness. Phonemic awareness is the understanding that spoken words or syllables can be thought of as a sequence of phonemes. There are types of phonological awareness, and these are word awareness, syllable awareness, rhyme awareness, and phoneme awareness. The third domain is book and print knowledge. This domain pertains to knowing the parts of a book and how print works. It also refers to the awareness of how print look. The fourth domain is alphabet knowledge. It is the ability to know the letters of the alphabet and understanding that the alphabet represents the sounds of a spoken language. The fifth domain is phonics and the word recognition. Mother tongue, like other languages that use alphabets, provides a systematic code that allows learners to recognize words accurately. This aims to track the print sound code. Children must leap from phonetic awareness to understanding the print sound code. This happens when they make the connection that the virtual symbols of letters represent particular sounds.